7th grade. So it's time to make the interiors of our buildings, which I find is one of the funnest things of all of the parts of the city project. It doesn't look like we're going to get to making our roofs, but making your interiors can take up as much time as you'd like it to, and kind of wrapping up our distance learning year. We have one more kind of fun project that all the grades are doing that I'll offer after this, but your interior, you can kind of do what you'd like with it. What I've done here is I've collected just a bunch of junk and little materials that we can repurpose. I've got some cotton batting, some thin like cardstock sort of stuff, yarn, fabric scraps, you know, these little things that come in packing materials, some wire from champagne cork, you know, some cellophane. This is some balsa wood strips, foam, I mean, duct tape, really anything that you have around that you can reimagine to use as a supply to make little miniatures, because it's sort of what we're doing. We're making little tiny miniature things to go inside of our buildings. And you know, people have taken this over the last over a decade to all kinds of levels. There have been people who put wiring and lights, or little LED lights, or you know, little flower pots, and I mean, just you can go down to the smallest detail, or you could just sort of have some furniture or whatever you need to be in there. This is a real like open creative assignment for you. I also have some modeling clay here too, which is great for making little foods and little things. If you're interested in making modeling clay, like if you have some around, you could use it, or air drying clay, you could use that too and paint it for little things. But if you want to make your own, in the 6th grade tab, there's a recipe where I make some modeling clay in the kitchen. And this stuff actually kind of hardens a bit. It almost has like a fondant kind of consistency. It's really easy to model, but then it sort of dries up. I wouldn't use clay for things like furniture and things like that. I would use it for things that you would imagine would have like a softer consistency. But again, it's up to you and what you have around. We're also going to be working with net quite a bit, and net design, which is a 7th grade math lesson, but you can really put this to use in making furniture, and I'll show you that. But really this is just about taking a bunch of junk and creating a cute little interior. For tools, I have a ruler, scissors. I actually have some pliers. You don't need these, but if you have access to little bits of wire, you know, that can be useful. And then an adhesive, whether it's tape or white glue or hot melt glue, again, only under parental supervision, if depending on the rules of your household, and if there's a hot melt glue gun, and when you can use it or if you can. So that is that's up to the rules of your household if you have access to that. But white glue and tape is just fine.
Okay, so using net design for this is as simple as taking the things you've learned in math and using some of these patterns for what things look like when they are flattened. And using the scissors to make the score lines. This is just some food packaging. Now if I took something like this could become, once I have taped it or glued it together, a couch. And I could take it even further and put like cotton balls, cotton batting on it, little scraps of fabric. And I could glue this down to almost like I'm like upholstering a mini couch. So there's all kinds of things that you could do with this. You could use toothpicks to build things. You could use anything. Really, this is whatever you have around the house to make little mini interiors.